Hello everyone, I'll be teaching about lines and angles. Let's start with points. Points are something that we come across in our day-to-day life. Why are points so important? Points are important because we need them to represent lines. We need them to get the location of the shapes, like this point in case of a square and this point in case of a triangle. Let's move to line segment. Line segments are those which have two endpoints. For example, P and Q. Line, on the other hand, is an extension of line segment which can be extended in any of the direction or in both the directions. Ray, on the other hand, is a line segment which can be extended in only one direction. So, in summary, line segment has two endpoints and it is denoted as, if line PQ is a line segment, then it is denoted as PQ with a bar over it. Line, on the other hand, has no endpoints. It can be extended in either direction and it is denoted as PQ. It doesn't have to be represented with a bar. And ray, it has only one endpoint and can be extended in one direction. It is denoted as OP bar. Let's move to parallel lines. Lines which never meet or intersect are called parallel lines. For example, consider lines AB and CD. As can be seen, if they are extended in the two directions, they will never be meeting the other line. Intersection is another concept. Here, if one line meets the other, then the meeting point is called the intersection. Here, the intersection point is denoted by O. Because of intersection, there are some angles formed. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, which are denoted here, are called as angles. 1 is nothing but angle DOB. 2 is nothing but angle DOA. Angles are measured by the formation of their intersection and they are measured in degrees. There are various angles. Angles can be understood as complementary angles. So complementary angles are the angles in which the sum of two angles is equal to 90 degree. For example, consider this case where one angle measurement is 30 degree, the other angle measurement is 60 degree. The sum of these two angles is equal to 90 degree, which makes them a complementary pair. Similarly, consider example B. One angle measurement is 45 degree while the other angle measurement is 45 degree. Sum of these angles is 90 degree. So these angles form a complementary pair. When two angles are complementary, each angle is complement of the other angle. So in case A, 30 is complement of 60 degree or 60 is complement of 30 degree. Similarly for case B, 45 is complement of 45. Let's look into some examples. We have to find complement of 20 degree. So complement is angle A plus angle B should be equal to 90 degree. We have angle A which is nothing but 20 degree. So with angle B it should amount to 90 degree. Therefore angle B is nothing but 90 minus 20 degree, that is equal to 70 degree. In short, in order to find complement of a given angle, we have to subtract 90 with the given angle. Applying this to the second example where given angle is 90 degree, the angle that we are finding is equal to 27 degree. Let's move on to the next question. We have to identify complementary pairs. Let's look at them. So in case of first, 63 plus 27 is equal to 90 degree. So this is a complementary pair. As seen, we have already seen this in case of example where 45 plus 45 is equal to 90 degree, which makes them a complementary pair. In case of example 3, 65 plus 115 is above 90 degree, which makes them not a complementary pair. We have to find the angle which is equal to its complement, which means that angle A is equal to x and angle B is also equal to x. So angle A plus angle B is equal to 90 degree, which means that x plus x is equal to 90 degree. which means that 2x is equal to 90 degree, x is equal to 45 degree. Let's move to supplementary angles. Similar to complementary angles, supplementary angles are those angles where the sum of two angles is equal to 180 degree. Consider example A. Here, one angle measurement is 70 degree while the other is 110 degree. Sum of these two angles is equal to 180 degree. Consider case 2, where sum of the angles is 180 degree, where one angle is 30 degree while the other angle is 150 degree. So, similar to complementary pairs, these two angles make a supplementary pair and each is called a supplement of the other. 70 is supplement of 110 and 110 is supplement of 70. Similarly, in case 2, 30 is supplement of 150 and 150 is supplement of 30. Let's look into some problems. We have to find supplement of 105. So, angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degree. Angle A is supposed to be 105 degrees, so angle B is something that has to be found out. Angle B is equal to 180 minus 105, which is equal to 75. So, in order to find the supplement of an angle, we have to subtract it by 180. Let's substitute this in order to find the supplement of 87 degree. Okay, let's move to the next question. We have to identify supplementary pairs. In case of 1, 65 plus 115 is equal to 180 degree. In case of 2, these two angles make up to 90 degrees, so they are not supplementary pairs. In case of 3, 112 plus 68 degree makes to 180 degrees, so this is a supplementary pair. Let's move on to the next question. Here, the question is 1 and 2 are supplementary. If 1 is decreased, what change must be done on angle 2 so that angle 1 and 2 remain supplementary? So, given angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degree. Angle 1 is decreased, so what changes must be made on angle 2 so that angle 1 dash plus angle 2 dash is equal to 180 degree, where angle 1 dash is the angle that has been subtracted by some amount. So, in order to get 180 degree of these two angles, 1 is nothing but angle 1 minus x. So, angle 2 dash is equal to 180 degree. Angle 1 minus x plus angle 2 plus something that has to be changed must be equal to 180 degree. We know that angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degree. So 180 degree minus x plus y is equal to 180 degree. We have 180 on either side, so we can cancel that out, which makes minus x is equal to minus y, or x is equal to y, which means the amount by which the angle 1 was decreased is the same amount by which angle 2 must be increased. Let's move to a new concept called adjacent angles. If you have a book, consider pages between adjacent pages or the one which are next to each other. So these make an angle A and these make an angle B. In case of a steering wheel or the car steering wheel, we have seen this. So these also make up adjacent angles. So what are adjacent angles? Adjacent angles are those angles which have a common vertex, which have a common arm and a non-common arm on either side of the common arm. Okay, let's simplify it. Let's look into this example of angles A and B. Here, angles A and B have the same vertex or the starting point, as can be seen here. Next, they have a common arm. What is a common arm? The line between the angle A and B is nothing but the common arm, and the other arms that make up these angles so this is the common arm, this is the O is common vertex, and the two other which are not the common arms are called the non-common arms. So in order for two angles to be adjacent, they should have a common vertex, they should have a common arm, and they should have non-common arms on either side of the common arm. Let's look into the examples. Consider example 1, where this is the common vertex, this is the common arm, and these two are the non-common arms. Let's look into example 2. We have a common vertex, there is a common arm, and these two are the non-common arms. Let's look into a problem. Is angle 1 adjacent to angle 2? So here angle 1 is this angle and angle 2 is this angle. So we have to check for a common vertex, common arm, and non-common arm on either side of common arm. So let's see if we have a common vertex. Angle 1 starts here and angle 2 starts here. So this is the vertex of angle 1 and this is the vertex of angle 2, which clearly makes angle 1 is not adjacent to angle 2. Let's move ahead to a new concept called linear pair. A linear pair is a pair of adjacent angles whose non-common sides are opposite rays. Here the non-common sides are nothing but non-common arms that we studied in adjacent pairs. So if 1 is adjacent to 2 means these two are the non-common arms or the non-common sides. In order to have a linear pair of adjacent angles, we need these two non-common sides to point in opposite direction. So if this is pointing towards this side, this has to point in the direction opposite to this side, which is this side. Let's consider another example. Here 1 and 2 are adjacent pair because they have a common point, common side or a common arm, and two non-common sides or non-common arms. But the direction of a non-common arm is not opposite to this direction. The opposite direction should have been this or should have been this, which is clearly not, which makes this not a linear pair. And from the linear pair diagram, we can conclude that angles in a linear pair are supplementary because they have to face opposite direction, which makes the sum of two angles of adjacent pairs equal to 180 degree. So this is a line which makes a 180 degree, and hence the angles in a linear pair are supplementary. Let's identify some of the linear pairs here. So in order to be a linear pair, they have to be supplementary, which means they have to form a 180 degree and they have to be adjacent pair. Those angles which satisfy these two conditions will be linear pair. Let's start with 1 and 2. Clearly 1 and 2 are adjacent pair, but they do not form a supplementary angle, or 1 is not supplement to 2. So angle 1 and angle 2 don't form a linear pair. Let's consider angle 2 and 3. Same case as 1, angle 2 and angle 3 do not form a linear pair even though they are adjacent pairs. Let's move to 3 and 4. It is the same case, as can be clearly seen. This direction is not opposite of this direction, which makes them non-supplementary. If we consider angle 4 and angle 5, we clearly see this is a 180 degree line, which makes angle 4 is supplement of angle 5, and they are also adjacent pair because they have a common vertex, common arm, and non-common arms which are on the opposite directions. Similarly, when you consider 1 and angle 5, they are supplement to each other and they form an adjacent pair. Let's move to another new concept called vertically opposite angles. Here, consider two lines L and M which intersect at O, making angles 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1 is said to be vertically opposite to 3 and 2 is said to be vertically opposite to 4. So vertically opposite angles are those angles which are opposite to each other. There is a proof that has to be done which says that vertically opposite angles are equal. In order to prove this, consider two lines L and M which intersect at point O. Let angles 1, 2, 3, 4 be the angles that are formed due to the intersection. In order to prove vertically opposite angles are equals, from this diagram we can say that angle 1 must be equal to angle 3 and angle 2 must be equal to angle 4. So, consider angle 1. Angle 1 is supplement to angle 2, which means that angle 1 is nothing but 180 degree minus angle 2. Also, angle 1 and 2 is a linear pair. Similarly, for angle 3, which can be seen here, angle 2 is supplement to angle 3 and is also adjacent to angle 3, which makes angle 2 and 3 a linear pair, which gives angle 2 minus angle 3 as 180 degree minus 2. From these two equations, we see that the right hand side of the equations are same, which makes the left hand side equal. So angle 1 is equal to angle 3 from these two. Similarly, it can be proved for angle 2 and 4. Once again, there are two lines L and M. Angle 1 and 3 are called vertically opposite angles. Angle 2 and 4 are the vertically opposite angles. There is a proof where we have to prove that vertically opposite angles are equal. That is, angle 1 is equal to 3, angle 2 is equal to 4. We can prove that using the concept of linear pair, where 1 is linear pair of 2, which makes 1 is supplement of 2. So 1 can be expressed as 180 minus 2. And similarly, considering pairs 3 and 2, 3 is supplement of 2 and is also a linear pair, and hence 3 can be expressed as 180 degree minus of angle 2, which makes the right hand side equal for equations 1 and 2, which makes angle 1 is equal to angle 3, which can be further proved as angle 2 is equal to angle 4 using these concepts. Let's look into a problem in order to understand the concept better. Here, 55 degree is an angle which is given and we have to find x, y and z angles. So, from vertically opposite angles concept, we have angle 1 is equal to angle 3 in this figure, which is angle x and angle of measurement 55 degree. So, x is equal to 55 degree and y is equal to z. But we also know that x can be expressed as 180 degree minus y because they are linear pair, which implies that y is 180 degree minus 55. Therefore, y is equal to 125 degree and y is equal to z, which implies z is also equal to 125 degree. Therefore, x is equal to 55, y is equal to 125 and z is equal to 125 degree. So, x is vertically opposite to 55, so x is equal to 55, y is vertically opposite to z, so y is equal to z. But x and y form a linear pair, so x plus y is equal to 180 degree, so we can find y, from which we can also find z.